Secure the objectives. Securing A. Enemy took Charlie. Securing C.
Positivity. Something I feel we are really lacking, not only in our little YouTube bubble, but in just society and the world as a whole. I mean, no, I'm not going to go get all emotional on you after school special. For those of you who've been around for a while, you may remember my Staying Positive series. And it was a series that I brought to my channel because I had fallen trap to the negative demons. All I did was complain about Black Ops 1 and Modern Warfare 3, and I still posted them. I mean, not as much. I still pretty much posted Modern Warfare 2. But, I don't mind complaining. I think, we complain about the things that we enjoy. We complain about the things that we enjoy because we want them to get better. So I don't really have a problem with complaining, but you got to have a nice mixture of positive and negative. And I was pretty much all negative there for a while, and everybody's sub boxes were all negative. So I brought in the Staying Positive series, and I covered all the Call of Duty since Call of Duty 4. So now it's time to cover Black Ops 2. The negativity I feel is like an all-time high for this game right now. Sub box are just being flooded with it, and like I said, we all complain. So I don't get after people for complaining, but it's nice to break it up once in a while. So I'm just gonna break up your sub boxes a little bit. Let me know down in the comments what you really enjoy about this game. I know there's plenty of negatives. It's easy to be negative. You have to try a little harder to be positive. But there are a lot of great things about this game. I don't play it as much because it's the inconsistency with the connections or whatever. You've heard it a million times. But I still really enjoy this game when it's playing the right way. So I think where I'm going to start off with is the Pick 10 system. Now, I really like the Pick 10 system. I think it's great that they introduced it into the game. I really like the 3-tier perk system, but I think it was needed. It was a nice change, and even though I think it needs some refinement and some tuning, it allows me to change my creative class into the exact class I need for my playstyle. Whether I want to drop a primary or drop a secondary and take extra grenades or extra C4, or I want to load up my primary with a bunch of attachments, or I want to take nothing out with me but a bunch of perks and pick up my first weapon off the ground. I think it really allows me to tailor my creative class to the exact way that I want to play. And like I said, with a little bit of refinement, I'd like to see that return in the next Call of Duty if I'm still around for that. Also, I really enjoy the kill streaks in this game. And even though I still think they're a little bit off for TDM, I adjust to it. It's not that big of a deal to me. I can play it either way. And the score streaks, I think they did a great job of the lower score streaks being fun to use. You don't need to run big kill streaks to have fun. You don't need to run big kill streaks to have big kill games. And I think they just did a really great job with score streaks. And there's probably a few of them aren't as good as others, but I like it that way. That breeds variety. You don't want everything to be the exact same. So I really like how they did score streaks and the score streaks that they use in this game. And I also love it that it's objective based. Like, the more objective you are, the more score streaks you're going to get. And they expanded on Modern Warfare 3's point system and made it even better, in my opinion. I also really enjoy the weapons of this game. I think they're really fun to use. This game is set up for my playstyle. Obviously, it's a little bit tougher to rush when you're having some connection issues, but the way the maps are set up, and I may get killed for this, I like how the maps are set up. Minus a couple of barrels and boxes on some, well-placed corners. I really like how it's CQC, especially maps like Raid. The action is so close quarter, and that just really fits my playstyle. I like a lot of action. I like fast pace. Obviously the game can play a little slower at times. Depends on the kind of people you're playing with and the game modes that you're playing. But for the most part, I like the weapons. I like the map layouts, and I like how they coincide with each other. I do think that the weapon balance is better at the game's release. I think all these little patches and tweaks that they make sometimes kind of hurt the flow of the game. But as far as release goes, I really like the weapon balance, the weapon selection, and how it coincided with the maps. And really, I could go on for a while with this game. I think they did a lot of great things with this game. League play. Though I don't think they should have adjusted the entire game to 1% of the community, I think it should be a part of Call of Duty. And I think that, maybe they should just separate them a little bit, that they play a little bit different. Have pubs play like pubs and league play like league play. But I still like all those things. And I could keep going on with this game. But I really, those are the main things I like about Black Ops 2. I'm sure there's things I'm leaving out, so make sure you leave a comment. Let me know what you really enjoy about this game, the aspects that keep you coming back, the fun factors. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Later.
Bravo. Operation complete. Nice job, Grunts.